Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope 2024 finds you well. It's December 12th, so we're 2 weeks away from Christmas Day. And I was reminded yesterday by a friend about a Christmas Eve in 1986. I know it was night. I know that was the year because my wife Janet was pregnant with our first daughter. This is me and my lovely wife Janet back in 1986. I've always been very blessed to have her as my wife and life partner. Anyway, it's Christmas Eve, and my little brother Daryl and I, who is 10 years younger than me, I was 26, we started hunting together around that time. And we hunted together for several years, but this was early in our hunting life, Christmas Eve again, and we would hunt, and we would hunt hard. We would walk long draws of grassy land and really never get anything. And we would try. I mean, we it's not for lack of effort. So anyway, we drove. We got up that morning, and he came over, or I went to his house. We picked him up, and he wasn't driving at this time. And anyway, we hit the road, and we went to our usual no luck hunting spots about an hour away near Durant and Walcott and that area. And we would drive around the roads, and we would knock on doors and ask if we could hunt these farmers' lands. And we had a lot of success with being able to hunt places. We just never got anything. I mean, we would end up shooting hedge apples out of trees or old glass insulators off poles, high wire poles in that weren't used anymore, obviously. But anyway, so we were kind of fed up with never getting anything. And we had both heard about southern Iowa being like a hunting mecca of Iowa, where pheasants were thick and quail, and just it was the magical area of Iowa. So we got on I-80 and drove 90 miles, and we took an exit, just a random exit. Had no idea where we were, no cell phones, no GPS, none of that stuff. Just two guys trying to find a place to hunt where we might actually shoot something. And so anyway, we ended up by Keswick, Iowa. And we knocked on a door, and the farmer said, yeah, you can hunt the area, and which was great. And so we walked down to this area, and it was a railroad bed where the railroad tracks had been removed. And you could tell it was an old track, but the tracks were gone, like I said. So it was this grassy, brushy area, and then trees on either side where the trees were. So we proceeded to walk in the snow. It had snowed, and the ground was covered in snow in southern Iowa. It was a beautiful morning, sunny and bright and fairly warm, not bad. And so we're walking, and all of a sudden, rabbits start appearing everywhere. I mean, we'd walk, and boom, Daryl shot a rabbit. Boom, I shot a rabbit. Walk a little bit more, boom, and we just, it was just like we were just thrilled that we actually were hunting and getting something. And so I'm not going to say we shot 20 rabbits, but it wasn't far off. And so we hunted probably till 3 in the afternoon, and the weather had started to shift, like later on in the morning or afternoon, where the wind got colder and the snow started blowing again, and we decided to clean these rabbits under this bridge. And so we sat on the ground, and we had coveralls on and our hunting vests with the pouches. Our pouches were full of rabbits, and we were just stoked. It was a great day for me and my brother. And so anyway, we started to clean these rabbits, and the weather, like I said, it was blizzard now, snow blowing sideways. The temperature just dropped down, and it was just too cold to do this outside. And so we proceeded to put the rabbits in the back of my truck, and we got on our way, and we stopped at a Casey's store, which are prominent in all small towns in Iowa. And I think we probably got a pop or something. and we asked if we could get a couple garbage bags, and they gave us a couple, and we put the rabbits that were in my back of my truck in the bags and got headed toward I-80. Well, it's about 4 o'clock by this time, and it's starting to get dark, and so we had driven a ways, about an hour, so it's pretty much dark now. And we stopped at this rest area with the idea of we'll go in the bathroom and we'll skin the rabbits. I don't think we planned on cleaning the guts. I think we're just going to skin them or something. I don't remember exactly what the plan was. But the interstates were pretty vacant at this time, with it being the holiday. Except there was one van at the rest area. So we thought, great, there's hardly anybody here. And so we grabbed our bags of rabbits, and we're both dressed. We're both like 6 foot tall, dressed in our hunting gear, coveralls, and hats, and bundled up. And so we grabbed our bag of rabbit corpses and headed to the restroom. And the minute we opened the door, there's like 20 Asian people in there, and it got real quiet when we walked in. And we looked at each other, and Daryl has a personality on him. He just does. He's something else. No shyness. He starts pulling rabbits out of bags. The chatter went real to a new level with these Asian folks, and they left. And so I think we skinned our rabbits. We didn't clean them. I don't think. But we didn't trash out the bathroom either. We were respectful. We cleaned our mess up, whatever mess was there, and we got back in the truck, and we headed back down now the dark interstate with the blizzard and the freezing cold. And I don't know when Daryl told me, but he was supposed to be home like by 4:35, 5 o'clock to go to a supper that night with his Aunt Marlene and my parents. And I don't remember my reaction, and maybe he would, but I don't. We just hurried home, and we got to my parents' house, and I don't remember my parents being strongly angry, but I'm sure they weren't happy. And I think my dad got on the phone and called my wife and told my wife that we were all right. And then I think he proceeded to tell us that Janet had been worried sick, and she had called the highway patrol. She had called hospitals, because she had no idea that we drove an hour and a half south, and there were no cell phones, which I'm kind of glad. I mean, I like my cell phone, but it's kind of nice to be off the grid. Now, granted, I didn't mean to worry my pregnant wife like I did. I didn't know about the dinner that my brother had to be at, and so I'm sure my parents and Janet were calling back and forth. So anyway, we cleaned the rabbits, the rest of them, and I headed home with the knowledge that I had pissed my wife off, and now I couldn't call her on my cell phone like I would now and talk to her on the way home and talk her down. And to be honest, I don't remember her being angry, and I'm sure she was. I'm sure she was more relieved knowing Janet, especially knowing Janet at 22 years old. What a sweetheart. So anyway, evidently the evening went all right. I don't know what we did that Christmas Eve. We probably stayed home, but anyway, so Christmas Day comes. And Janet had told me, here I thought my husband, I'm pregnant, I'm 5 months pregnant, and you're dead, Mick. I remember her saying that, or you're in the hospital, and it's Christmas Eve, and she expressed that quite clearly and seriously at the time. It became funny as the years wound on, but what happened the next day, Christmas morning added to the lore. I had purchased her gifts, and I was always super excited to give her a gift when I was young and no kids and newly married. I mean, I couldn't wait till Christmas most of the time. I would give her gifts 2 weeks early. So anyway, I had actually put her gifts up in the attic, And so we woke up that Christmas morning, and I got out of bed, and I was excited to give her gifts while she was in bed even. And so the hallway was here, our bedroom door was here, and the attic had one of those chains you pull and the steps come down. And so she's still in bed and she can see me pull the attic, and I'm excited to give her gifts. Steps come down, I go up the steps, I grab her gifts where I had placed them. I got 2 steps on that attic step, and the whole contraption came crashing to the ground with me on top of it. I mean, huge noise, shot her out of bed, and she was like, oh great, yesterday you're dead in the ditch or in the hospital, and now today I'm still pregnant and you're paralyzed. And we laughed about that for years to come. And I was reminded of this tale yesterday at my friend's house, and I thought I would share this Christmas Eve story during this Christmas season. God bless. Merry Christmas.